Hey guys, happy Sunday. So I am sitting over on this side of the room, which means that I'm at my keyboard, which means I'm gonna be brave. It's been a little bit swirly this week, so I'm gonna create my own swirl. Holy swirl. I'll do a little bit of prophetic ministry after. But I've been tinkering around. I'm no professional, but just coming up with some new sounds. Jesus, you are the way, Jesus. Jesus, you are the way, Jesus. Oh, Jesus, we love you. Jesus, we lift you up. Oh, we lift you up. Jesus, you are the way. Jesus, you are the way to the Father. You are the only way. Jesus, you are the way. Jesus, you are the way to the Father. There's no other way. There's no other way. But you paid the price with your blood. Jesus, you made the way. Jesus, you made the way to the Father. Oh, you made the way. Oh, we come and drink from the river. Oh, the river that flows from the throne of the Lord. Yes, we come and drink. Oh, we drink you in, God. Oh, we drink you in, God. Oh, we drink you in. Rivers of revelation, rivers of revelation, rivers are flowing from the throne. Jesus, you are the way. Jesus, you are the way to the Father. You are the only way. Oh, you are the only way. Oh, you pay the price. Oh, you pay the price with your blood. He paid the greatest price. He paid the greatest price with his blood. Oh, he paid the price. Oh, he paid the price with his blood poured out. He made the way when there was no other way. Jesus, Jesus, you paid the price. Jesus, Jesus, you paid the price. Jesus. Oh, the river is flowing from the throne of God. Oh, the river is flowing. Oh, the river is growing. Oh, the river is flowing. Oh, the river is flowing from the throne of God. Oh, the river is flowing. Oh, the river is flowing from the throne of God. Oh, from your throne. Healing waters are washing. Healing waters are running all over you. Washing. Rivers of living water. Rivers of living water are flowing from his throne. Sometimes you just have to go into a place of encounter. You know, I find one of the holiest places is just sitting here at the keyboard. I don't know much, but it doesn't take much to bring the presence of God. Because the cry of his heart is for intimacy. Our Father just wants to know you. He wants you to know him. Do the awkward transition to the other side of the room, and give me 1 second, and I'm gonna switch and do a little prophetic ministry, but give me 1 second here, and I'm gonna just move over. Here, and I have to reposition this, so give me 1 second, and hopefully I don't drop you in the process. I need to get a second tripod. I was talking the other day, a couple days ago, just drop me a message. I know a few of you guys are on here. Just let me know who is on. Hello, Dina. I was talking the other day, I think it was 2 days ago. Sorry, let me just fix this. You got to have the right position, the right angle, the right everything. So I was talking about harvest, protecting your harvest. And, the needfulness for us to protect our harvest at this time, because it is harvest time. But, when there is fruitfulness and when there's, if you have like an orchard or a vegetable garden and you're planting things that, we're not the only ones who like to eat what is of the harvest. And, so I was talking about protecting your harvest, and it was very interesting. Sometimes, you say things and then you walk them out. And so literally I went out and so what I've been doing, I have this Rose of Sharon plant. on my front porch. And about 3 days ago, I went out there and I looked and I was like, how come I have like hardly any flowers on my plant at all, but my neighbor who is next door has 2 bushes and they're full of flowers. And so I took a closer look and I noticed that there were Japanese beetles all over it and that they were eating the flowers. They were eating them before they had an opportunity to bud. And so I've literally been spending the last 3 days, I got a bucket of soapy water out there and garden gloves, and I'm just like determined to get rid of these Japanese beetles. And so I go out there every, couple hours and I just pick them off because I'm protecting, it's like a prophetic act to me, protecting, my harvest, protecting my plant, protecting, the flowers, the flower buds so that they can bloom, and so now is really beautiful and gorgeous, and then, so I had that happen. And then the morning after I was on Facebook Live, I think that was Friday night that I was on. And then I went out Saturday morning and I went out to my vegetable garden and I have all these zucchini plants. And I had 3 like nice big zucchinis that were like ready to be picked. And I went out and some little critter had started munching on eating and like had taken bites out of like every single one of them, all 3 of them. And I was just like, oh, this is so annoying. Like, but really what did it do? Like it was, we can throw our arms up and be like, oh, poor me, I'm such a victim, the prophetically, speaking, oh, the enemy's after me, or, the thief or the devourer, whatever you want, however you want to look at it. But it was like, no, like actually picked those zucchinis and I cut off the parts that had the teeth marks on it and I preserved and spared what I was able to spare, but so often, it's like, what do we do and what are we doing to protect that which God has given us? And so, it's just like, I feel like God was just reminding me, like, we hear all these, positive prophetic words and we're just believing like it's such a time of shift, of transition, of acceleration, and so we can feel that, we can sense that in the spirit, like that we are about to launch, we're about to just take off, but it's like when, God is doing something, it's like we don't want to be ignorant completely to what is happening on the other side because, we have the beautiful holy swirl in God's plan and what he's doing. And then often, there's a counterfeit swirl where the enemy would, seek to try and come and to disturb, and so that's why I labeled this video Creating a Holy Swirl, because, what's one of the best things that we can do to create a holy swirl? What's one of the best things? I love that song. This is how I fight my battles, because this is about worship. And it's like the best thing that we can do is to position ourselves with him, in front of him, to worship him and to just, have those hearts, see when things are not going well, to just like upward focus. Okay. Just go deeper and deeper into him, because what does the enemy want to do? The enemy wants to get your eyes on the problem, wants to get your eyes on what's not working, wants you to get like your eyes on, maybe emotion, maybe the enemy likes to poke wounds that are not healed, or sometimes, will dangle the bait of an offense, something that, might possibly like trigger you or irritate you, and so those are kind of the way, and so it's like, what do? We got to be like on our guard and we have to be aware. And so it's like, when, if we feel like the poke of the offense or the bait, like, Satan's bait where he's, dangling something, usually it's like a whisper in the ear, like, it might be reminding you of past pain or something unjust that someone did, and it's just like, do we want to partner with that and partner with the victim mentality? Because what often will happen then is we'll get, you can start to spiral into this like, oh no, like this is the victim mindset. Like this is so unfair, poor me, how dare they? And then often what will happen is, our response often in offensive, this is the true character test, and I'd like to say I pass all my character tests, but I know for a fact that I don't. Hey, Dina and Ella, you get me? Like, unfortunately we don't always, but sometimes what we, when we get offended, we will step out sometimes and we'll say things, but we have to make sure that we're partnering with the right spirit. Hello, Marlene Hood. And so what spirit? So how do you make sure you're partnering with the right spirit, especially when emotions get stirred up and you're just like, don't know what's going on inside. And you sometimes, like, honestly, guys, sometimes there's so much turmoil when, whether it's because there's offense, because things are coming against you, or maybe, you've got some wounds on the inside that need to be healed. And sometimes you just don't even know the full dynamics of what is going on and you just feel so unsettled. But one thing will work every time. Fix your eyes on Jesus. Fix your eyes on Jesus. Get into his presence. Get into his presence. Make sure that Holy Spirit is the spirit that you're partnering with. If you're angry, if you're upset, if you're going through things, God can handle all those emotions. So, just get yourself into, a safe place. You can have it out with him before you have it out with the person, and just really seeking him in the midst of these things so that, we're not taking the bait and we're not getting lured into, because sometimes you feel guilty just for, feeling something, being tempted by something, being irritated, and sometimes it's like, you might feel angry because, maybe you had a family member said something to you that provoked you, and inside you feel like the anger or the rage or whatever, but you don't act on it, but it's just, you feel it, like you feel the stirring on the inside, and I want you to know, like, that is not sin. That is just like, a sign that something is going on. Like it's like, it's a sign. Okay, the stove's hot. What's going on? And so it's just like, get yourself into the place of his presence. For me, worship is the best thing that I can do. Just reading your comment, Dina. Thanks for sharing. Just saying that. Yeah. It's not always easy. It's not always easy, but it is needful. And so it's like when we need to set our default so that we do run to him. We run to him first, because often what happens is we actually have our default of, we have a person that we run to. And so it's like, it might be your spouse, it might be your best friend, it might be, a mentor, someone, and you might have that as your, but it's like, come to Jesus first. Come to him first. This is where he's wanting to make the priorities in our heart. He's wanting to bring them into like right alignment so that it's always like, before you call that friend, friends are great, spouses are great, mentors are great, all of that. But before you do that, it's like position yourself with him, let him speak into you, sing. And sometimes you can sing to him, choosing gratitude and choosing praise in the midst of difficult times. I mean, that's a great way just to punch the enemy in the teeth, because it's like when he is like trying to, when the enemy is trying to get you down and get you to spiral into negativity, and you just turn and you just say, you know what, I'm going to worship Jesus instead. I'm going to praise him and I'm going to worship him. And that is just like, is the most powerful thing, and, yeah, Ella, I just love that. The Jesus in me loves the Jesus in you. Yeah. Sometimes we have to look past, that's the new covenant. We have to look past, what people might be doing or saying in the natural and realize, just who they are through the finished work of the cross. And realize that like we do not have permission to stay offended. We don't have permission to, hold on to those offenses, but we need to, lean into him and then move on. But we want to protect, and I was talking about protecting our harvest. And you know what? How do you get a harvest? Harvest is all about character. Dina, you're saying it's been a season of character building and blind trust. You don't get a harvest if you don't have character, because harvest is all about fruit, and fruit is something that grows and develops over time. And fruit requires that you allow the soil of your heart to be cultivated and fertilized and all those things. And you allow God to do what he needs to do in your heart, in your life, in your character, so that what is planted inside of you is not going to be choked out by, weeds, weeds of bitterness or any other kind of unhealthy heart ecosystem, but that it really grows at that. It shows that, hey, we're planted, we're attached to the vine, and a vine can only produce fruit if it is attached to him, the vine. And if you say you're an apple tree, you better have some apples, and same if you say that you're connected to Jesus, that you're walking and you're in a relationship with him, then you're going to have likewise, you're going to have that kind of fruit in your life, which is going to be evidence of your relationship. Because as we see him, so we reflect him to the world. As if we see him, if we spend a lot of time with him, gazing in his face, because it says that we behold him as in a mirror, reflecting the glory of the Lord. So the amount that you are beholding him, the amount that you are seeing him, the amount that you are looking at him and looking at him correctly, because if you look at him and think he's angry, or you look at him and you think he's disappointed with you, or you look and think, any of these things that are negative, if that's how you see him looking at you, it's not true. But if that's how you think he's looking at you, that is how you are going to reflect him to the world. And so we have to make sure that we have good, solid, healthy, new covenant foundations so that we are rightly reflecting him and his character. Hello, Joanne Forget. Good to see you. All right, Joanne, I'm going to prophesy over you. And is Joanne, Marlene, is she one of your girls that I'm going to get to meet in a few weeks when I come up to Iroquois Falls in end of August? I think she might be. Okay, Joanne. Yeah. Oh. Wow, Joanne, he loves you. 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 He's so wooing you. He's wooing you, and this is a season of joy for you. And I just see you drinking so deeply from that well of his love in this season. And I just see such a deep cleansing, just such a deep cleansing that has been happening. And I see your capacity has been increased, and it's like you have allowed yourself to be open and bare before him. And I see that, I'm talking about the soil of your heart. And I see that, God has done some really deep and some really precious things in you. And I see that, you have been vulnerable with him, and you've been in that place of okay, God, what do you want to do? And I just see that you've just allowed him, to speak into some things and to highlight some things and adjust some things. And I just see that some of the adjustments, there's been some difficult adjustments and adjustments that were even a little bit painful, but I see you really having embraced the process and really just saying yes to him. And I just see that it's you've learned this place of deep surrender with him, and just this place. And it's because of that it's that deep surrender. It's I see you in both laughter and tears at the same time. And it's it's when something hurts, but it's oh, this is so good. It's almost like when you get a massage, and it's when you get a massage and when they go for the muscle, the knot, and it's just oh my goodness, that hurts so much. It's so tight, but don't stop. Keep going. I see you in that place of okay, God, ouch, that spot hurts, but yet you're in this place of okay, do what you want to do, because I don't want to continue on the way that I was. And so I just see that you just really been flourishing in this beautiful place of transformation, and joy is your portion in this season. And I just see the Lord really, helping you to find joy in the hard places, helping you to find joy in unusual circumstances and in places where, people would not naturally feel joyful. But I see this as being something, a real key to your breakthrough, and something that you're going to take hold of. And it's and you're entering in with gratitude. It's just that heart of gratitude where it's I can see you walking around your house and even thanking God, even for your appliances, and thanking him for your air conditioning, and just all these things. I can just see this overflowing gratitude where, it's your eyes are not fixed on the things that you don't have, but your eyes are looking around and seeing the abundance of the things that you do have. And it's a real shift of gaze for you, because you used to have a tendency to do the old, to do it the other way, where it's like you would look at the thing, the one thing that you didn't have, and it would steal your joy. And I've been there. That was my habit too, where you look at the one thing you don't have and you become so consumed with it that it, makes you miserable. But now it's like it's the complete 180 that he's done in you. And so now it's like, you're not so concerned with the thing that you don't have. You're still believing God for it, but you're like, oh my goodness, God, thank you. Like, thank you for what you've done. Thank you for the things that are in my hand. Thank you for the people that are in my life. And I just see that real gratitude bubbling up on the inside of you, and God just like, you being like, just almost like a child that's like in amazement with, God's goodness and everything that he's done with you. Hello, Rachel Ray and Nathan Bontrager. Nathan, it was so good to see you in Colorado in person. I feel like I should prophesy over you again. Crystal Lee, good to see you. I'm coming on more regularly. Look at me. I got my spiritual boxing gloves on right now, so I'm like at it. Okay, I'm going to prophesy over Nathan, and then Charity, can you hang around and I'll prophesy over you next? Okay, Nathan. Nathan. Yeah. Wow, Nathan, I just see, there are things that are, I just see some like some really big and like monumental things, like really coming into place, snapping into place for you in the new area that you're in. And I just see it's a thing of like divine connection and also acceleration of destiny. And it's like, you didn't know how fresh this fresh start was going to be, but it is going to be like fresh and just really refreshing, rejuvenating, but also accelerating. And so it's like, I just see, it's like I see you going up. I can actually see like it's like you're going up 4 different levels, like 4 different steps. And it's like, there's certain things that it's like, you knew they were in your destiny and you knew they were somewhere in the periphery, and they seemed like they were farther out in the distance, and you've really given yourself over to, prioritizing your family and just, God and family. You've really allowed him to like prioritize things. You've made some pretty big sacrifices, and, you've been willing to put some desires and some things on hold, for a time, but the Lord is really pleased with the posturing of your heart and the things that you've surrendered. But I just see him saying, okay, they're not as distant in the future. And I just see some real big things like coming together, and just you finding your fit, you finding your place where you are having the kind of, impact on people that, and it's there's an acceleration of the growth and development of your network, even in the new area that you are. And it's because of that favor of God that is on you. And I know I've spoken this over you before, but it's like you are marked with favor, and it is a spirit, like the favor. It's like a spirit that is sitting on you. It's there. It hasn't gone anywhere. And so even though you are now in new surroundings with new people and not having the same kind of network that you did before, it's like doors are going to open. They're going to open quickly because the favor is on you. And there is just this accelerated and supernatural level of trust that people are going to have for you. And so you're going to find some quick connections and some quick connections, partnerships, and even invitations to step into some things, because people are going to see what you carry. They're going to hear the wisdom and the revelation that you release. And it's going to really, really help to align things quite quickly for you. So bless you, Nathan. Bless you. Yeah. Whew. Yeah, so good. Hello, Nicole Carson and Ripsimi, Kirsten Ray. Hello. Kirsten, I'm going to get to meet you in a few weeks at Marlene's. I'm looking forward to it. Okay, I said I was going to prophesy over Charity. Charity, I think hopefully you're still here. If not, I can tag you. Yeah, you're still here. When I say, hey, I'm going to prophesy over you next, people tend not to disappear. Yeah, Charity. Try not to knock this over. Wow. Wow. Charity, you are so ready to ride this wave. You're so ready to ride this wave of the Spirit. You're so ready for this next wave. And I just see that you have been in waiting. You've been in waiting and you've been watching and you've been so diligent and you've had your eye out on the horizon. And it's like, it's just like you've known. You've just been like waiting. There is this it's because you see things prophetically like so far out. And so it's like you've just had, I feel like for the last like 4 or 5 years, it's like you've had this expectation, this anticipation, okay, it's coming. And it's like, there's been a little bit of like, oh my goodness, why is it not here? But I just see this, like it's been building. And it's like, you're so, with your eyes on the horizon and your eyes, into the spirit realm to see, where God would take you next, that you're just like so determined that you're not going to miss it. And so I just see it. And it's like, you have you have such a sharp and keen gift of discernment that when the waves start to come, it's like, because there are, not all waves are the perfect wave, but there's like multiple waves that come, but it's like, you are just going to know what is your wave, what is the one that you're supposed to get on, that you're supposed to ride in on. And so it's like, I just see you, and it's like, I see you coming to the place, like even in the next 3 months where it's like this, it's like, it's the wave, but it's also like a contraction, like a wave, like of a spiritual birthing. Cause it's like, I see you looking out for the wave to come, for what is the next, what is the move, what is the thing I'm to step into. But at the same time, it's like I can see you as you see the wave on the horizon. I see you also come into contractions of birthing in the spirit. And I just see the Lord says, you are ready. You are ready. You are ready. You are approaching full term, and it's just a matter of time. And so it's like in these next 3 months, you are going to see just such a massive shift, and you're going to push out, and you're going to release what God has been birthing on the inside of you, because you're going to see that the timing in the world around you is matched for what God has been doing on the inside of you. And so it's been this thing of like, okay, times and seasons, and just like, the timing's been very important. But so I just bless you to release what God has put on the inside of you. There will be no miscarriage of destiny. Whew. Yeah, but he has been bringing the right people. There's still a couple more connections, like, and I said within 3 months, but in these next 3 months, you're going to meet you're going to meet at least one, maybe I feel like 1 or 2 people who are going to come, and they're going to be very key to helping you to move forward. And so just watch for these, but it's almost like, I feel like the knowing's going to be so strong on the inside of you. It's going to be like when Elizabeth met Mary, and Mary was carrying baby Jesus, and Elizabeth was carrying John the Baptist, and it said the babe leapt within her womb. And it's like, I see you having that same kind of reaction. It's like when you meet, these people, it's like they're almost going to be like a midwife for you in the spirit. It's going to help you to release what you're called to do. It's like what's in you is going to just like leap, knowing that it is a divine connection. So, yeah, I bless you. I just bless you. I bless you. Yeah. 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 Awesome. Well, you can let me know in 3 months, if that word comes to pass, and if it resonates with you. All right, let's see. Who else is being highlighted? Okay, Ella Ware. Ella. Wow. Ella, I see you standing up, and I just see you standing in your authority, and it's like your royalty and your authority. And I'm just hearing that scripture for you, like I've given you authority to trample on snakes and scorpions and over all the power of the enemy. And it's like I see you getting a hold of what it means to be able to tread on snakes and scorpions and these like earthbound, these earthbound demonic things that are here. And you really stepping in to your authority and you walking over the enemy in a way that is just like, it's like I can hear them crunching. I can hear the scorpions like crunching under your feet, but it's like you have this like, it's a fierceness, but also a joy. And it is just this like revelation because like, that Ella, you cannot lose. And so you are just going for it. And I just see you so protected. It's like I can see you, like I could see angels standing both behind and in front of you. And it's like, you've got this, I've seen it's actually like a Triton. And I'm trying to think what exactly that's symbolizing, like a pitchfork, but it's gold, and it's just like, but to me, it's really just symbolizing it's like your weapon of warfare, but it's also showing that you're stepping into your authority and position, but you are, it's like you're partnering with, I see you partnering with the words that have been spoken over your life in a whole new way and like really warring for your destiny, like taking the promises of God and the things that have been spoken. And I see you like warring over it and calling them in and seeing these things come into fulfillment. And it's just like, it's that cry. And I've said this, I keep saying this, but it's that cry of your heart. Like, I will have my destiny. Like that is the cry coming up from you. It's like, I will have my destiny. I will have it. And it's just this fierceness and he's releasing. It's like, it's a new sound, but it's also, it's just like everything that's coming out of you is amplified. And I just see you releasing, like hitting frequencies in the realm of the spirit that you have not hit before. And it's really shifting things. It is opening up things in the heavenlies and it's also shutting them down. You're really also taking hold of that scripture where it says, whatsoever things you bind on earth are bound in heaven. And whatever you loose on earth are loosed in heaven, and really understanding it's like there's both things, like what are you binding and forbidding, and also what are you loosing, like releasing. And so it's like I see you operating both in both realms, because it's like we don't want to just go after the enemy and just like shut down all what he's doing. But it's like, when you clean a house, if you deliver someone of the demonic, you don't want to leave the house empty, but you want to fill them up. And so it's like you're binding and shutting things down, but you're also loosening, you're releasing, and you're partnering with heaven in a new way. And that's why there's so much more, I see more angelic protection, but it's because you're actually partnering with them in a new way. And it's like you're sending, that the angelic are waiting to partner. They're waiting for you to release the word of God out of your mouth. And it's like, I just see you releasing them and the ministering spirits going forth because you're speaking in line with what the Father is saying. So just keep on going. Selena Robin, I got to prophesy over you because you're on here. I don't know if I've ever caught you. I don't know if you've ever caught me live before. But thank you. Thank you for your kind words. Yes, I have a lot of passion. And Selena. Yeah, Selena. Oh. Wow. I see you're, Selena, in some ways you are a teddy bear, and I just see the love and I just see your heart just like so filled with compassion and just so wanting to like love on people and just like snuggle your little kiddos and just like being so filled with so much love. But I also see, the fierceness of the mama bear on the inside of you. And I just see you like really, it's like you're really like, there is this warrior on the inside of you. And it's like, you've been trying to navigate because it's like, the things that were demonstrated to you in your life. And, I know for a fact that you weren't raised in an atmosphere, so this isn't prophetic, but I know you were raised in an atmosphere that was not easy for you. It was not like really conducive to healthy spiritual development, and but even with that, even with, the things that you had to face, Selena, it's like God placed such beauty on the inside of you, and he placed like so much, like just your gifts, like your love, your compassion, but also that fierceness and that like warrior that is willing to fight like for the underdog. And it's like you have all this going on in the inside, and it's like you were left alone for such a long season to figure it out on your own, and you did the best that you could, Selena. You did the best that you could, and your Father wants you to know that he is so pleased with you. And he says, now in this season, I am lavishing my love on you, and he is going to continue to bring, not just me, but other people in your life. He's going to bring divine appointments, but this is also why we connected, so that you would have someone to speak life into you. He's going to bring people, and I just see it's like you releasing these like desires of your heart and just these cries, these prayers up to him, and God coming through other people and just like meeting those needs, and just like sometimes in practical ways, sometimes with words of encouragement, just to build you up. And he just says, like, Selena, I'm going to be the mother, the father, that you did not have in the natural. And he says that, like, though mother and father may have forsaken you, I will never forsake you. And he is just like, Selena, he's so proud of you. He's so proud of the way that you take care of your kids. He's so proud of the way that you love them, and the way that you just pour yourself out. You pour yourself out in a way that, that in a way that is just so self-sacrificing, and he just sees your heart. And I see him, he's giving you new grace in this season. There's a new grace for life, and it comes with a joy. There's a joy and an energizing, and he's going to continue to like encourage you. And Selena, I just want to encourage you that you are already hearing the whispers of Jesus in your ear. You're already hearing the whispers of Jesus in your ear. And sometimes people expect God to speak in this loud and audible voice. But sometimes you look at yourself in the mirror, and it's like, maybe you've had a rough day, or whatever's going on, and you don't feel your best, but you look in the mirror and you just hear this voice, and you almost discount it because it says things like, you're beautiful, you're amazing, I'm so proud of you. And you've already been hearing it. You've already been hearing it. And so I just see him speaking more and more to you. And I just see like that, like he's just cleaning out like spiritually your ears, so that the Bible talks about Jesus is the good shepherd. He is your good shepherd. And Selena, you hear his voice. And this is a season where he is just going to pour into you. And I see him like rewriting your history and your story. He's rewriting. So it's like the voice that you hear speaking to you, it's like he's saying kind and wonderful things to you that you were not used to having been told to you in your childhood. And so it's an unusual voice. It's a voice that you didn't grow up with. It's a voice that you're not used to, but like you just hear it. And I just see him like rewriting. He's just rewriting on your heart what he thinks of you, who he says. He's taking off the labels. He's just taking off labels, Selena. I'm not going to say what they are, but there's words that have been put on you, spoken over you. And he's just he's like removing them off. And I just see him, he's just writing a new name. And he just says, it's beloved. You are my beloved. He's writing that on your name. And he says, in this season, Selena, you love. This is what this year is about for you. You love well, and you give the love that you have. You pour it out. You give your life. You love. But he says, I want to, because you you so love and you give everything that you have to your children, he says, I want to show you an even greater love, and he's going to pour in so much love, and he's going to love you even more and in a way that you have not yet experienced, because it just goes deeper and deeper with him. It's like you meet Jesus and you're like, oh wow, he's awesome, he saved me. But that's just the beginning. And so he's taking you deeper, and he's showing you a love. He's showing you he loves you even on your worst days, even if you lose your temper, temper, even if you, whatever, like he loves you as much and on your worst day as he does on your best day. He says that my love for you is not about performance, but it is just so perfect and pure. And so I just see him like he's just pouring love into you. Just receive it. And Selena, just prophetically, like he wants to give you a hug, like just pull like your arms out and just receive him. Just receive him. And you're going to even feel, because you are awake to the spirit realm. And so I just, waking your senses even more, and just declare that you're going to even feel the presence of the angelic. You're going to start to feel like this warmth. You're going to feel like, sometimes you're going to feel like someone is behind you. You're used to the feeling where it feels like, oh no, this is like a little bit scary. What's going on? Like, if you felt like a dark spirit, but you're going to start to feel more and more, you're going to feel like comfort. You're going to start to feel comforting presences that are going to come in. And it's like, and all you have to do is whisper the name of Jesus, and you will feel him. He will come. He will be with you. He will send help. And so it's just like, he's just loving on you. This is a season. He just wants to love on you. You are enough. You are so good. He just wants to fill you up, fill you up, fill you up, fill you up, because you're always being poured out, and he doesn't want you depleted. He loves you. He cares about you so much. Yeah. She says, it's amazing you say this, because recently I've been feeling like I've been hugged without anyone there. Selena, that's incredible. He's so got you. He's so got you. And he just put that in my heart. So he's just confirming, he's already been doing it. He's already been doing it. Yeah. Because he's there. He's there. And it's just going to get closer and closer and closer. He just wants to love on you. Wow. Because he cares so much about your kids. He cares so much about, you have 5 kids, I think. I think it's 5 now. Do you have 4 boys and 1 girl? I think that's how that goes. Or do you have 2 girls? I can't remember. But, Selena, there's a destiny. There's a destiny for your children, for each and every one of them. And so Jesus is, he's bringing you into beautiful places of relationship with him. And then he's going to bring, 4 boys and 1 girl, and then he's going to bring your kids into their destiny. And I just see him like, through this generation, he's just correcting some things and helping to, realign, because there was an inheritance. There was a spiritual blessings that was coming down your family line, and it got set off in your parents' generation, and God is restoring, because he wants, because you guys were created to fulfill certain God ordained purposes. And so there are spiritual blessings for you and your children to walk in. And so I just bless you. You are so loved. I love you. Jesus loves you. And he's got you and your kids. Yeah. Yeah, Ella, creating a holy swirl, eh? Hey, John Doyle, Josie Lavoie, Chris Sheard, good to see you guys. Welcome, welcome. Rachel Ray, thanks for tuning in. Yeah, I got to keep the holy swirl going a little bit longer, I think. Yeah. John Doyle. Okay. John Doyle, I have not prophesied over you for a while. Not for a little while. It's been a while. I'm just hearing the phrase, it's time for liftoff. It's time for liftoff. And actually just getting a picture of you flying in like a fighter jet. And I just see the Lord saying, like, I'm changing. He's changing so many dynamics of your life. He's changing the economics of your life, but he's also like changing the dynamics in such a way where he's like, actually, he's like, you, I just hear this phrase, you weren't meant to be a land dweller. And so it's like, he's bringing you up to the place where it's like, it's just, it's another realm, it's another level. And because he's called you to be set apart and to go to heights and places. And it's really like, it's the extremes. It's like the extremes in the spirit. It's the extremes, because where he needs those brave risk takers to go, the ones who are willing, the ones who, have been through the training and have, there's something that you have learned about authority in this season, something you've learned about authority by staying connected to authority that was maybe like not super easy for you to stay connected to. But I see like you learning something about authority by holding your ground and learning to honor even in disagreement and continuing to like, understanding. It's like you understand like authority and God's protocol. And so I just see you like you really pass some tests. And so it's like it's like a promotion where it's like, okay, he's been trusted, he's submitted to authority. And so now I can actually trust him to be someone who will go and embark on some of these adventures, so to speak, and to do things that are just, they're kind of like outside of the realm of like what we would have thought, because they're like new wineskin kind of things where it's like, it's just realms that like, we try and figure it out. What's this new wave going to look like? What's the way forward? But there's just it's like, there's so much risk taking that is required to step into the new thing, because, it's not, the new thing is not tried, tested, and true. It's new and it's a little bit experimental, but God has done the behind the scenes work. So just get ready, John, just get ready. And, some opportunities are going to come your way. And I just see you like, just having this it's just such an excitement. And it's actually the feeling that I'm kind of seeing. I refer to it with charity. It's that sense of like, when you're pregnant with something, not that you've ever been pregnant, but when you're pregnant with something and it's that leaping of excitement, when it's just like that, like knowing that that this is it. And so I just see you like, you have such a keen gift of discernment and you just so it's like, who to go to. It's like you could walk through a crowd, and I just see you like, you could walk through a crowd and you could like sort, so to speak, the sheep from the goats. Like you just know, like, okay, even within the Christians, like who is trustworthy, who is not, who is safe, who is my people, who is not. And so I just see you having being able to maneuver and actually sidestep, some potential like disastrous partnerships and projects by working with the wrong people, and it's like you can sidestep that because you have this keen discernment. So just continue to go with your gut, trust the Holy Spirit to lead you, and just know that it's like you're ready to go. Okay, you're resonating. You're saying that is so me. LOL. Okay. People are not going to understand you. They're not going to understand why you're like, no, thank you. I just don't want to work on this project with so-and-so or whatever. But on the inside, because Holy Spirit, he is your helper. He is your teacher. And he's showing you because he doesn't want you to waste your time and energy. It's precious. Yeah. Cody Smith. Can't remember where you're from. Somewhere in the US, I believe. Cody. Yeah, I just hear the Lord saying that all that time in training and practicing and doing the drills, it's like I can see you going, like you have been you've been going over. It's like you've been going over the playbook. You've been doing all that you can to prepare. And it's like, I just see your diligence in like preparing and preparing and preparing and getting yourself ready and going through, the motions. And it's like, it's like you don't take the assignments that the Lord has given you, you don't take them carelessly, but you've positioned yourself and prepared yourself, and it's like, even in the small things, and even in the, we'll say, dress rehearsal, so to speak. It's like, I see you taking, because there's these times where it's like learning and growth, and God is like, it's not like showtime, but it's like, it's practice, it's training for reigning, it's like getting yourself prepared. But it's like, I see you having this like real, just like this seriousness, like this intentionality where you're like, okay, I'm not going to waste, I'm going to treat this drill or this rehearsal as if it is the real deal, like it is the real thing. And so it's like, I just see you really stewarding that like really, really well. And so because you've stewarded it so well, it's like it's like, I just see this like learning really well from your mistakes and learning really well from the things that, the things that you've stepped out and you've tried and they didn't really work well. And I just see this real adaptability in you, Cody, where, it's like, you're getting so much more adaptable than you used to be. And so like when things happen, there might have been times in the past where things would happen to throw you off, or, life would take a left turn and you would just be like, feel like your car's in the ditch and you don't know how to get back on the road. But that's not you anymore, but now it's like God has like worked that out of you, and he's got you to this place where you're just like, okay, you are ready for the next curveball. Like you are ready, and you just have this like incredible ability to pivot. It's taken a bit of like time to develop, but it's like, how to pivot. And so Cody, just remember, when things come up that are there's going to be some suddenly moments, and, some of them are going to have a little bit of a shock factor to them. Some of them will catch you by surprise. You won't be expecting them. Suddenlies tend to be that way. And, just sometimes the suddenly will come, and there'll be that bit of a sense of shock. And what happens sometimes, is like surprise and the shock and the excitement. Sometimes it can almost feel like a little bit like trauma, like kind of a response. And so I just feel like, just to let you know that there's going to be some surprises, that it's like sometimes the shock will come and it might provoke and something. And so just don't respond, don't react, because it's like, I just see this, like this needfulness to just like, kind of like let the shock settle, and you're going to be so pleased. You're going to be so pleased when it settles, and you actually just see like that it is like, they're good. Like they're good shifts. They're good changes. God is working all these things out to your good. But sometimes the change and the shock just kind of like catches us off guard. But he says, you have it. He says, I'm setting you up, but he needs like, there's going to be a couple like sharp turns and changes in direction. But he says, I'm in it. So just like brace yourself, be prepared to like breathe deeply and know that it is good. It's so good. And you have the adaptability and the ability to pivot without losing your footing. And so you're just going to pivot. You're not going to trip. You're not going to lose your footing, but you've got it. Yeah. You got this. You got this. I just say that I need to stop saying this, but I used to say like, I don't like surprises. So I say, I don't like surprises. And, God has lots of good surprises, but sometimes it's the shock in the surprise where you're expecting one thing and then you don't, and it goes away that you have no idea, or you just weren't expecting. And so, yeah, surprises from heaven are good. God is so good. Yeah, you're welcome, Cody. Hopefully that resonates. Hopefully that resonates with you. Oh, hello, Ankia from South Africa. Yeah, embrace the shock. Knowing that, the shock's not going to take you out. It's going to just like, it's just sometimes what like it's the surprise and the shock. Sometimes it's hard to discern whether it's good or bad because of the emotion attached to it. But it's good. It's good. It's so good. Yeah, it's going to be so good. All right. All right, guys, I think I'm going to wrap it up for this evening, but this has been a lot of fun, and I'll be back. I'll be back. And hope that you enjoyed a little bit of a holy swirl tonight. Really appreciate you guys. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I will see you again.